Hey everyone, it's Sarah or 0903 Photography. Today I'm going to show you how to make a polymer clay lifesaver. Bear with me because this is my first tutorial in a very long time, so I will make some narrative mistakes. I apologize. So here are some of the tools you'll need, and I will list them in the description as well. Starting off with white polymer clay because I have no concept of keeping my polymer clay clean. No matter how hard I try, I still fail. So condition your clay, and once I divided up my clay into 3 separate sizes, and they're all slightly different sizes, just roll it into a ball and then flatten it out. I'm using a acrylic stamping block to flatten it out because I can control it better and I can see. However, you don't have to use that. You can use whatever you want. I just find that it's probably the cheapest and most effective way to flatten out my polymer clay. And then I'm just checking the depth there. You don't want it too thin, but you don't want it too thick, especially for the project that I'm working on, which I will talk about later on in the video. So once I've flattened out all of the 3 lifesavers, I'm just smoothing it out and shaping it. I don't want any sharp edges, so what I did was just kind of round it off on the sides a little bit. And then take your round circle cutter and just proceed to place that in the center and pierce the clay. So similar to how you would make a donut, this is basically what you're doing here. And you'll notice the large lifesaver to the left is slightly off center, but you can fix that, and you'll see that I try to fix that as well. So just taking off a little bit of the excess there and then twisting the little circle cutter around. After you've made the 3 lifesavers, place them aside, clean off your work surface, and condition your red clay. In this clay I used red Craft Smart. I tend to like Craft Smart. That's the Michaels brand. And use something to flatten your clay. In this case I'm using my brayer because my pasta machine is packed. And just take your X-Acto knife or whatever slicer that you have and make some thin strips. Not too thin, but basically you want to make this the part that goes on the lifesaver, and I have no idea what it's called. If anyone knows, please let me know. I should probably Google it before I narrate, but oh well. So then once I've cut these strips down, I'm just placing them on about 4 of them on the lifesaver. And my inspiration, if I hadn't mentioned it already, is basically from the Simon Says stamp set that I did a box opening of in the previous video. So I'll be using that as an inspiration for the next upcoming tutorials as well as a giveaway. Sorry for Boise barking. She hasn't barked all day and all of a sudden she's barking. So I apologize for that. And then once you've placed all of those 4 strips on your lifesaver, just round it off on the bottom there, and I just used my little tool and curled it down. And then just finish off your other 2 lifesavers as well. I'm sure there's another method to do it, but again, I'm really rusty here. They really do look like lifesavers. You know, I probably should have just put a lifesaver in a mold and called it a day, but I wanted to start from scratch for you guys. You'll notice too, there's some ragged edges on the inside of the lifesaver. Make sure you smooth that out. So now I'm taking some blue polymer clay and then just rolling that into a thin snake and twisting the snake to mimic or look like rope. So once I've twisted that as thin as I wanted to, I will just place that and cut it down on the end and then place that around the lifesaver. So you see I'm just securing the ends there, just using my little tool, and then once I've made that little arch, I'll just push the middle right into the polymer clay. And you can use TLS or Bacon Bond if you want to secure it. I didn't have a problem when baking it, and I didn't use any TLS or Bake and Bond, but I think it's because I really pressed it firmly into the sides. And because this is a flat back charm, you're not really going to see the back or the sides. I wasn't too careful on how that looked. So then take your black clay, roll it into a very thin snake, and that will be the mouth and the eyes. The eyes will not be a thin snake. They'll just be little 2 balls flattened out. And you'll see here that I have no concept of what is top and bottom. I'm just randomly going around because, hey, that's me. And so you definitely want to secure that, though, if you can, with TLS or bake and bond. One of the mouths fell off during the quenching process, and so I had to glue it on, and you'll see that mistake if you look closely later on. So to make the eyes, I just cut 2 pieces of the black clay, rolled them into small little balls, and then placed those on the Lifesaver. I also used my ball tool and flattened it because the clay was really soft. So I just want to make sure that it was smooth. Once you've done that, just bake your Lifesavers, let it cool or quench it, and then glaze it. And this is how it looks after it's been baked, quenched, and glazed. I use triple thick spray. I'm a real fan of that right now. So that is your Lifesaver charm, or Polymer Clay Lifesaver. And here are some of the examples of what I'm working on. And you'll see the sailboat in the upper corner there, and that's going to be the next upcoming tutorial. And if you're curious on what that whole diagram and the Simon Says stamps are, that's for my upcoming tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make a polymer pocket letter, which will actually be sent to a lucky winner. So follow me on Instagram for more information. Thanks everyone. Bye.